Hello, everyone. Peaches is not in here yet. Her and Taylor are outside breathing. I hear her coughing. She's coming in. So she's coming in now. I see the dog. I see everybody. We are going to wait for her to sit down before I switch to the other camera so that you guys don't have to see her walking through. Oh, you're going to see it anyways. There she is. There she is. Everybody look, there's Peaches. All right. Switching to both of us. Boom, just like that. There she is. What you got there? Oh, your cards.
Nothing.
Oh, man. How's everybody doing? Kaylin? That shirt is so you, haha. I actually found a shirt company on Facebook that makes these type of shirts, and I bought 9 t-shirts for me and 2 for Peaches.
Yeah.
I was gonna, she was like, can you wait and before you order so I can look through the website? And there was like 36 pages of shirts. She's like, I'll just look through it myself.
You never sent it to me.
I did.
Did you?
I did. That's how you were able to look at it on your phone.
No, I was looking at Instagram.
Oh.
I didn't have the website. The link on their Instagram wasn't working for me.
No, I'll send it to you. Bree Ball said, Jenny, are you sure it's not Monday? It feels like it. Shouldn't feel like it. It's hump day. Mike. Guess what day it is? I'm not on TikTok or IG. I get FOMO sometimes. Well, that's okay because we're actually uploading all of our TikTok live streams from TikTok to YouTube now. Mm-hmm. And we're recording for the first time ever on Kick. Oh, I got to pull the chat up.
Oh, is that a thing now?
It is. I got to open the chat doc. I totally forgot that one. Let's see. Let's get the chat over on this screen because this will get us TikTok. I'm not TikTok. Twitch. Not Twitch. What are we doing? Kick, Facebook, and YouTube will all be here.
Okay.
There we go. Oh my God, Chris is lucky. Peach is beautiful. I'm not lucky. This is the result of hard work and preparation.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be with my husband if he was a piece of shit.
There you go.
Nice face though.
Yeah, it's your favorite chair.
No.
Somebody said I haven't heard about Kick in forever. It's a different program. This is not the small messenger. Kick is actually like a website.
Yeah. I got groomed on that app.
It says unable to connect on here. If you are currently watching on Kick, leave a comment so that we know that you can see it. If not, this is just aired. I don't know what to tell you. I want to get more advice about what we talked about on TikTok, Narcissist Mom. I just started no contact. How do I keep my emotions in check? Are there any hobbies or anything I can do? We've both gone no contact with our mothers.
Yeah. I've done it multiple times, but this is the time that I'm steadfast in it because I need changed behaviors, right? There's a grieving process that happens in this moment. This person is still alive, but now they are metaphorically dead to you. There is no contact. You don't know what they're doing in their day-to-day life. You're not going to know they're gone until you receive a phone call when someone thinks to call you. There is a lot of anger. There's a lot of frustration. I still experience guilt. I have self-shaming. I have questioning on, was I too harsh? Am I overreacting?
Down.
Good girl. I still miss my mom. That's a thing every damn day. Think about her. I pray about her. Go through memories every single night. There is a level of acceptance that hurts. There is, you have to go through the fantasy healing. There's something that can begin in childhood. We create healing fantasies of our parents or whoever may be hurting us, abusing us, who should be caring for us. And that healing fantasy is something that we can latch onto like reality. And when I finally released that was very painful to do. It felt like I was killing off a part of myself. And it sucked, but Having hobbies is a great idea, doing things with your hands. I think reading books and gaining knowledge on perspectives of being a human being and why some mothers behave the way that they do or why some relationships fall apart the way that they do will help heal. It helped me heal. Reading, understanding the borderline mother and the 4 agreements and expanding my perspective of other people's life experiences has helped heal me a lot.
Change subject, and then we'll go back to the subject. Whoever the 2 people that are watching on Kick, you need to go to YouTube or Facebook. I'm going to end that because for some reason there's no video there.
Okay.
So that's going to go away. On all of this, for me, nobody has the right to have access to you.
Correct.
People have access to you because they bring something to your life that enhances your existence, and you do the same for them. And there is a mutual exchange of we are going to improve each other's lives. We're going to be good for each other. And when that's not a thing, you don't need to have people in your life. And just because you share DNA with somebody or because they raised you doesn't mean that they have a right to have access to you. Mm-hmm. Blood DNA means nothing other than you share some fucking shit in your body. Like
right.
There's nothing there that's going to make a relationship. If you walked past somebody on the street that you didn't know was your long lost brother, you would walk right by them. You would have no feeling of, oh, hey, that's my brother. None of that.
No spidey senses.
None of it.
Right.
Right. So the idea that you should accept shitty behavior from people because they're related to you, you are choosing to be around your abuser at that point. That's a fucking choice. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
My life is so much fucking better since I started upholding my boundaries with people. The moment somebody does something that is below my standard, you've shown me your character. I have a decision to make. Yeah. That decision is either I need to have a conversation with you about your character or determine whether or not that was too fucked up for me to associate with you. And then once that's happened, I make a decision.
Right.
I'll either have that conversation or I will cut you out like a fucking cancer. And my life is peaceful as shit because of it.
Yep.
So.
And I've done the same thing.
Yeah.
Like everything I said previously is enmeshed with everything that my husband just said. And there's no regret.
Yeah.
There is zero regret. Do not mistake grieving and going through that process with regretting the decision that I made.
Yeah. We still have moments. So my mother, my biological mom, lives less than 5 miles from us.
Yeah.
And we drive by her road every time we get on the interstate. And every time we get on the interstate, I look down her road. There's still a connection from her raising me. I hope that she's doing well. I hope my stepdad is thriving.
Yeah.
I'm just not willing to ever break radio silence. And I don't know if I would be okay with allowing them to break radio silence because I know what they're doing in their life does not align with my life and my peace and what I want. And there are things in my past that a lot of people would view as unforgivable. And I have forgiven those trespasses, those situations, but I'm not going to forget those situations.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. Gracie L is in the chat. Not me sitting in silence for 8 minutes waiting for the live, not realizing there was an error on my phone. That's funny.
Dang. Yeah.
Megan said, I have no issues implementing boundaries with my own mom or trying, but it all goes to shit when my husband still talks to her. Okay, so that's a problem in itself. If you have set boundaries with your family, your partner, the person that you have become one flesh with and you are in union with, that you are creating a family with, that is your person, should have your fucking back and go no contact as well.
Yeah, there should be zero reason
Yep.
for him to maintain contact with your parents. Is it 11:11?
It is.
Did I just catch that on your fucking watch?
I don't know, did you?
With it being gray out? Oh my gosh. Every day, guys.
What was that number for?
I can't remember.
Okay.
There are so many for me. Let me go to my notes real quick.
Word, gotta let go of the ones who don't want to better themselves. You absolutely do. You can't pull somebody up that's pulling you down. Right? Gravity is against you, and you're only so fucking strong. If they're not trying to climb out of whatever you're trying to pull them out of, this isn't Stallone, and like you're not just pulling people up like Demolition Man. Like that's not a thing.
So what 11:11 represents is spiritual awakening and alignment, a message to stay present, confirmation of your past, and amplified energy. Crazy.
How did y'all start to set boundaries in general? Is it intentions? I'm learning that in therapy.
Read Set Boundaries,
Find
Peace.
Peace
by Nedra Tawwab.
For me, so my boundary setting started way earlier than that. My boundary setting started when I realized that people treat me the way that I allow them to treat me.
Correct.
I don't like the way that made me feel, and you're the one that did it.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you just did, and I don't like that shit. And if you're going to be around me, I'm not going to accept that behavior. You can continue to be a shitty person. You can do all the things that you are choosing to do. I'm not trying to control you, but I'm telling you what I will and will not accept in my life.
Right.
You don't have to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you tell people that shit. Be honest about it.
Yeah.
Tell you guys, telling somebody when they do something that you don't like, in the moment, stopping what's happening and being like, I don't like the way that made me feel, is fucking game changing.
Mm-hmm.
You have the right to speak up for yourself. Somebody asked if you ever do get ready with me.
I don't think that's interesting enough to do.
People watch that shit.
Yeah, you guys would watch Get Ready With Me's?
You'd put your phone on that little stand on the charger on your makeup table and fucking do your makeup and just talk to the chat while you're live. People would watch that shit. I see it every day. I don't even watch the content. Like I see, oh, you're putting on your makeup, scroll.
Okay.
But it pops up on my feed. They force that shit on people. That's a very popular trending thing right now.
Maybe.
Somebody said, is there a group that you guys do? It might cost money, but I feel like you guys would be able to help me. There is a lot that we do. We have couples retreats. We have one booked for the end of January that's currently live on our website. We have women's retreats, which is the next one that's booked is in April. That's also live on the website. We do international retreats. We're going to Bali and Greece next year, which both have slots available. And then I have a men's group and women has Peaches groups, which are private. And that gets you access. Well, her women's groups are a lot more involved. She has actual one-on-one coaching calls. I don't do that with men. Men don't really want that for some reason. So, or at least the men that I interact with don't. Or maybe I'm just not good at it. I don't know.
Have you offered it?
I did. It was up for like 3 weeks and didn't get a
One-on-one
single
phone
person.
calls?
Yep. I thought about offering it to the men who are already in my group to see if they would bite, to see if they would want to do it. But I put it on Patreon.
Yeah.
As an upgraded tier to do one-on-one coaching with me, and it was up for 3 weeks. And
I don't
didn't get a
remember you
single
talking about that at all.
I did. I posted it in the Discord, posted it to Patreon, put it on Facebook.
Right, but we didn't talk about it on a video.
Because by the time it would have released, it would have been up for months because we're so far ahead. I don't really care to do it. I got to be honest, I really don't. I would rather
that wasn't maximum effort.
I would rather my men that are in the men's group currently that are already paying and being a part of that community be like, hey, I need some fucking help right now. And for me to talk to them versus trying to sell coaching.
Okay.
But I don't know. You want to talk about your women's groups?
So I have 3 different women's groups. I have my Women's Thrive group, my Sacred Sisterhood, and the Awaken Woman. All 3 groups have different levels of involvement. My Awaken Women is the most involved. I'm going to start at the bottom. I don't know why I said the Awaken Woman first. My Women's Thrive group is the least involved group. There are 2 calls a month, once a month deep dive challenge based on the book of the month. We have our own private Discord chats, private voice call. And that's about it. So if you're a busy lady who does not want a super intense, needing your attention more than a few days a week, I would recommend Women's Thrive. Sacred Sisterhood is much more involved. There is a once a week challenge. There are once a week phone calls, group phone calls, and there is a book of the month. This also includes private DM access to me through Discord, so we can have private messages exchanged in the Discord, and that is for private mentorship, advice seeking, perspective. And then I have my Awaken Women's tier, which includes everything that Sacred Sisterhood has, including a once a month up to an hour-long one-on-one phone call with me for mentorship. And there is a optional secondary emergency phone call that can be scheduled within 72 hours.
So somebody had said that they're hoping to be able to go to Bali one day. We have that Bali trip has 4 spots. We were down to 2, but somebody had to cancel for financial reasons. So we have 4 spots available for Bali, and then we have 7 spots available for Greece. The people who are wanting to do the women's retreat and the couples retreats, all that shit's on tobebetter.com. So you can find all of that. If you want to do the link in the description on YouTube for the Bali and Greece trip is available there. So you guys can just look in the description. It's there. And for all of you who are interested in joining her women's group, go to tobebetter.com/join. And then if you're already a member of our Discord, if you're at the $20 tier or higher, your partner gets access to our Discord for free.
Yep.
After y'all's long span of being together, did the first time the other person had to say, let's go out of state for a short time for a work training, did it bother you? Asking as a super codependent person with BPD and CPTSD. We've not actually ever gone anywhere without each other. I'm not doing that. But we're blessed in that we have the ability to work for ourselves.
Right.
We have both done that for a very long time. So I'm going to do whatever I want. And if you were like, I have to go somewhere for work, I'm going to go. I'll just hang out in the hotel room while you're working. I think that a lot of that speaks to the security of your relationship, though. If she was like, I want to do this by myself, the best of luck, babe. Go do it. I'm not going to be mad about it. I would much rather spend my life with you than without you. But I also understand the need to have alone time and to do things. And like, I'd be okay with you taking a week vacation somewhere without me. I just can play a whole lot of video games while you're gone.
Right.
You know? Lauren Wells sent a super chat on YouTube. If you guys want your shit guaranteed to be read, send a super chat on YouTube. Lauren Wells said, is courting for more than 1 year too long to wait? We want to be together, but he's an elderly father, he has an elderly father, and his father is his father's caretaker. I'm a single mom with a 3-year-old. How can we mesh lives? The elderly father and having a child in the house could be a benefit for both of them.
I agree.
I don't know if it's too long to wait. I think that if you guys have just been talking to each other and it's exclusive and this has been a year, I think you're kind of already dating. So are these websites pinned by chance? They're not on Facebook. They are on YouTube. If you guys are watching on Facebook, go to YouTube and subscribe. We're trying to hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube. We're at 245,000 right now.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
We're so close to 250.
Yeah.
I'm close to 100,000 followers on Instagram.
That's crazy.
Isn't that insane?
I don't know what my personal Instagrams are because I rarely ever log into them. But
yeah. Every time I post to Facebook, it auto posts to Instagram or vice versa. I have them linked. Yeah.
Would you guys ever do videos about raising or educating children or just parenting advice? We actually have talked about that stuff quite a bit.
A lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Totally bonkers.
I'm going to add that to my book section on parenting. And regulating yourself as a parent.
Zach said we're 2,500 away from 250,000.
No way.
I really thought we were going to hit that last year.
Yeah.
We had a massive jump and then it just fucking stopped.
Plateaued.
Yeah.
And I think we need to diversify a little bit. I think our spooky Halloween episode is going to do pretty well.
Yeah. I want to get into other content. I want to do shit that's not relationship stuff that we can just have conversations about because I really enjoy talking to you. And we do it anyways. Whether we're sitting in the living room or sitting back here, I don't think it matters.
We can start diving into like Y-Files shit.
Yeah. Oh, I fucking enjoy that. Just content.
We could talk for hours. We had everybody that Orlando weekend just hooked on our conversation. Like there was a point where I looked around the room, I was like, oh, we've just dominated the conversation. Yeah. I felt bad about it, but everyone was like, no, keep going. I'm learning so much.
They were in it. Yeah. That's funny. We need to, we have to do our reaction video to our first episode.
Oh, I'm putting it off so much.
It's going to happen this week or this weekend. Today's Wednesday. I have to go get my car from the dealership today at some point. So maybe tomorrow or Friday we'll pop open Patreon and do a live recording for Patreon and react to our shit.
We're going to have to do that soon if we're going to get your car today because today is son's appointment.
Okay. I will get it tomorrow.
Okay.
Just do it in the morning after you drop the kids off. I enjoy the parent/kid talk. It helps a lot. I feel like I get to heal my inner kid with my little one. It's funny you said that. I said that to Peaches this morning. Yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Talking about little man and how much he is like me. And even though he's not my kid, like I told her last night that if he looked like me, I would believe he was my kid. His mannerisms and the way that
the energy and
all of it. It's like looking at a young me. Down to the dumbass fucking noises he makes all the time. Like I swear to you, I used to walk around the house going blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Like it's so much so that I got in trouble for it. Like I would make dumbass fucking noises. I was a walking sound effects machine, and it sounded great to me, but it annoyed the fuck out of everyone else in the house. He does that shit.
Yeah. I love that we just let him go.
Yeah.
There are times where we're like, okay,
enough,
bud,
dude. Yeah,
that's enough.
Go do that in your bedroom.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you to stop. Be you. Just be you somewhere other than the living room.
Take it outside. That's an outside thing now.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are very much facilitate, not squash.
Yeah. Yeah. And his imagination with his toys.
His
I did that
teacher
shit.
messaged me about that.
Yeah, what'd they say?
That he's caught him a couple of times playing with pencils or erasers, talking to himself. And I'm
Yeah.
like, he does that. Like,
It's his imagination.
right. I was like, he has hangers and straws, and he tries to keep empty water bottles, and
Yeah. That's an attachment thing.
Yeah.
That's my favorite water bottle, bro. It's empty.
Oh,
it's an empty
no, he
plastic
pretends they're
water bottle.
airplanes
Okay.
and-
He's done that to me though.
Yeah.
I've gone to throw away a water bottle and he's like, that's my favorite one. I'm like, bro, it's garbage.
Yeah.
Like, it needs to go and recycle.
yeah.
Yeah. Perhaps more single people looking to better themselves content also. We do that as well. Our content is universal, whether you're in a
like it's pretty
relationship or
diverse.
not. Yeah, you can apply everything that we
Yeah.
say about relationships into your personal life. Relationships are not just intimate. You have a relationship with your boss and your mom and your kids and your best friend. Like relationships are a relationship.
I would also say that there is intimacy involved in other relationships, just not romantically.
Romantic was the word I was looking for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, am I responsible for fixing the relationship between my daughter and her bio dad?
No.
Coming from another mom, fuck no.
Nope.
Absolutely not. That is on the father to facilitate his own relationship with the child. Now, if your daughter is coming to you and saying, why don't I see daddy, or whatever the case may be, depending on how old she is, if she's fairly young, and this could go for her son as well, 4, 5, 6 years old, coming up to me, daddy's just busy. Daddy's away right now. I'm not getting into an adult conversation with a child. Now, if that child is 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, now we can start having conversations about adults can make decisions to make phone calls or not. And now, right now, your dad's making the decision to not call.
Right.
Now, if the child asks to call dad, calling, handing the phone.
Right.
I'm not saying anything to the father. The child asked for this, the child can speak.
Yeah.
And when they are done and wrapping up, click the red button. And then pass me the phone.
Yeah.
There does not have to be any communication in that. At 10 years old, they are cognitive, they are conscious, they are aware, they are taking in the world. I would have that conversation of she knows what bad people look like, people who choose to do things even though it hurts people. I'm sure she's experienced it by now at 10 years old. And right now, daddy is choosing to make decisions that even though they hurt you, it's not about you. And I would have conversations to try to create a bubble for her to understand it's not her fault that dad's not reaching out.
Right.
Or isn't visiting and those kinds of things. And as she continues to get older and her consciousness expands and she can have a deeper understanding of things, 15, 16, 17 years old, I would start having conversations of, not even then, I lied, 13, 14 years old, I would start having conversations of like, you're becoming a woman, soon you're going to be a young adult, you're going to want to start dating, who you choose to be in a relationship is very important, and then by extension, marriage. At 16, 17 years old, I would start having those conversations of who you choose to marry is going to be the most important decision of your life. And I would bring up the situation with the father, not in a way to make him look bad, but as a lesson to reflect on as
I fucked up,
right? I don't want my grandchildren, your children, to have to experience what you went through because I made a poor decision in who I chose to be your father.
Yeah.
It's not just going to be a one-time conversation. It's going to be multiple conversations, and she's going to have new questions. And the best piece of advice in all of this is to not talk bad about dad.
Right.
Don't talk bad about his actions. They are happening, and we have to cope with the fact that they are happening. So what are we going to do within us to make us feel better about what's going on? Because dad's not doing anything, unfortunately.
So we always read the super chats that come through, even if they don't make sense. This one just says co-parenting with unreliable narcissist, parenthesis, me, BPDC, PTSD.
Oh.
I have no idea what you want from us other than to read your comment because there's nothing else there. If you're dealing with something like that, you need to send an email because that's nowhere near enough information for us to really tell you anything. Brandy said, I have a question. You should ask the question. On Facebook, Kaylee said, my partner, I wanted to read this one. My partner recently set a boundary with my best friend's husband, who used to be his best friend, and it's caused a divide between all of us and me and my partner because they are my friends, and I've tried to explain their perspective to him, but it just causes arguments. It's been hard not to be resentful towards him because now our friendships are all suffering, but I still want to support him.
I need to know what that situation was. What boundary did he set?
I don't need to know nothing. You tell me fuck that person, you're my wife. Fuck their whole bloodline. That's the way that needs to be. And I understand that this is very difficult. I have had a hard time with that in the past too. And when you have friends and people that you care about, it's very hard not to take other people's sides if you view that they're right or wrong or try to explain the perspective. You and I may have private conversations about how I view that situation, trying to bring you to light, but I'm not going to stop our relationship or fuck our relationship up trying to maintain a relationship with someone else and play in the middle ground to repair things. This is not an easy situation. This is one of those things where you have to prioritize your person. Are you willing to lose your marriage over your best friend?
That's a good question.
I also understand that time dictates a lot of these things. If you're in a relationship that just started, that's not how it's going to look.
That's true too.
Your life situation is going to dictate the way that you're able to effectively handle these situations, but the energy of my marriage comes first, my husband or my wife is the priority here. Beyond that, like this woman is creating problems in her marriage and starting to resent her husband because he's got beef with somebody and she's not taking a side.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of those situations where my friendship with the woman should not be affected, period. My husband's relationship with her husband has nothing to do with me and our relationship. Now, if you're allowing that to bleed into your marriage because he's feeling a certain way about us having our own friendship outside of that, that's your guys' problem. I'm removing myself from that. If it's a problem all around and I'm feeling it wouldn't even get to the point where I feel a certain way about my husband. Like you said, I'm always behind your back. I don't care if the dude was my best friend since childhood. You pissed my husband off.
Yeah.
Like, and now we're backed into a corner and I'm forced to choose sides. Of course I'm choosing my husband. Right.
That's what I'm getting. That's what I was getting at. And that's a whole ass conversation that needs to be had when you get married or before you get married. Like, are you willing? Is this like a real, we are one flesh?
Yeah.
Right. And I gotta be honest. Like, if you had a problem with somebody's wife, like my best friend's wife, that would disrupt our outings.
It would.
Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, I'm going to tell him, he just don't like your woman. So these double dates and us going to mini golf and all that shit ain't happening no more. I'd love to hang out with you. Let's play some video games sometime. Like, we need to have men time where the women aren't around so that we can enjoy ourselves, because I'm not going to ask my wife to put herself in an uncomfortable situation to, like, it's not fair to her.
Right. And I'm not going to ask you to end that friendship with him just because I don't like his wife.
Right.
That would be unfair to you and would put a strain on our relationship.
Right. There needs to be a balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also don't think that there's anything wrong with having conversations about how to be honest about the situation. Like, you and I are supposed to correct each other. We're supposed to do it in a loving manner so that there's a different understanding about life. So if there was beef between me and him and you saw the situation differently and you were trying to make me understand, those conversations should happen,
yes,
but not to the point of there becoming resentment between the two of us over
right.
it. And like, you could be like, I see it this way. And I could be like, well, I see it this way. Well, that's not the way it is for you. And that's not the way it is for me. We're not going to see eye to eye on this. The feelings that behind it are mine. My cognitive bias is behind it. Negativity bias is behind it. Yours don't view that way.
Yeah.
That's life sometimes. Sabrina became a member for 27 months. Her message said, raising our son has definitely healed our inner child. Also seeing and watching a smaller form of Mike and I combined heals us in so many ways. Tried to read that one breath. It didn't work. Scrolling down.
I want to tack on to that conversation.
Sure.
there is a level of you're viewing your husband differently because of this situation. Why are you not viewing the friends differently with how they're conducting themselves in this situation?
Maybe the husband's the problem. Maybe the husband's the one who's got
Yeah.
an issue with it. We have no idea what actually happened.
Right, we have no clue. I wish that was included.
Yeah, I mean, they can include it. We read their comment. They're on Facebook.
We scrolled down a bunch, right? What if it had been?
Not a whole lot. That wasn't it. Let's see. I'll scroll back up and get the name of the person so that we have. The name was Kaylee.
Okay.
On Facebook. We asked my son if he wanted that, what last name he wants moving forward, etc. He got as much choice. I guess that was a comment to somebody else's comment.
I guess so,
I don't know.
yeah. Welcome, everybody who's just joining. I'm glad you guys are here. I love seeing more people on Facebook.
Absolutely. Guys, but if you are watching on Facebook, please go to YouTube and subscribe on YouTube.
Trying to get to 250,000.
Yeah, we're getting close. I want a gold plaque. I'm envisioning it. Like, I'm mentally envisioning it on the wall there. And if that means we have to transition into doing relationship stuff and spooky content, or I don't know,
conspiracy theory conversations.
What the fuck ever. I want a gold plaque on the wall.
Right.
How we get there doesn't matter as much as getting there.
So I'm also manifesting this. We're going to have to prepare to have money set aside because I also want a gold plaque.
A separate gold plaque?
Yeah, I don't want just one gold plaque.
Oh, so are you mean like a whole nother channel, or you want your own?
I want my own.
Oh yeah, that's not
gold
a problem.
plaque.
Yeah, I don't care.
So we're going to have the money set aside to make that happen.
Yeah. The YouTube channel is To Be Better. The number 2 Be Better. It's got chess pieces as the logo. A blue and pink chess piece. I'd love to hear an email from the woman with the friends and husband at odds. I actually would like to have a follow-up to know what happened in that situation for it to be a problem. And they're on Facebook, which means they get a whole lot more room to type.
Oh, I wonder if she's going.
She may not even be on there anymore. I don't know. What is your most unhinged conspiracy theory? Define unhinged so that we're on the same page. Read relationship advice Reddits. We talked about that. And when we did that, Zach said that we should reach out to people to find out if it's cool for us to use their content out of respect. And I don't like people enough to do that.
I also feel like that's not necessary. Like I understand
you put that
the respect
shit on the internet.
Right. I understand the respect aspect of it and reaching out and getting permission. You also posted it on the internet.
Right.
And like this wasn't behind a paywall on some like, I don't know, secret club to ask for advice. It's Reddit.
Right. Stacy on Facebook said, I really wish you guys would do parenting/children content. We do.
We do.
We do any content when the emails come in. We talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. So if you have something you want to talk about, send an email. RJ on Facebook said, it's crazy how far you guys have come. First subscribed around March of year one. And I've been evolving my lifestyle, listening to the podcast, taking accountability and changing habits. It's gangster.
We are all growing together. I love it.
What are your thoughts on keep your friends close, but your enemies closer?
Fuck that.
I think that speaks to insecurity and trying to make sure that you are manipulating your world around you.
Yes, you are one step ahead.
Right. How about disassociate or distance yourselves from people that aren't serving you?
Love thy enemy.
You could do absolutely. Like
love from a distance.
Yeah.
Not going to touch you with a 30-foot pole. My most unhinged conspiracy theory that I can think of right now that I believe in is that we are aliens.
They didn't define
it, so I just went with it.
Okay. Do you guys agree with the statement a man has to love a woman? Man has to love a woman more for a relationship to work.
What does that even mean?
I don't even understand what that means.
A man has to love a woman more for the relationship to work? Like for the man to love the woman more than the woman loves the man? Because that sounds like worship.
Yeah.
And I'm uncomfortable with that.
I strongly disagree with that.
I feel like you just took something out of context in the Bible and asked me a question.
Okay, so unhinged, something insane, like something no one or less people believe. I gotta be honest, the problem is there's so many people on the planet now that even the ones that aren't really believed are believed.
Right. More than the woman loves him? No, I think that's bullshit.
Yeah, it's horrible relationship
If
advice.
somebody tells you that the man should love the woman more in a relationship than the woman loves the man, that's inequality, which aren't we for that as women? And like I said, that feels like worship. And I don't think that we are these godly beings above men who deserve servitude from them. It is an exchange. It's a transaction. This is an ebb and flow.
Yeah, that's a narrative that's being pushed so that men will take care of women and buy them things and do a whole bunch of shit and they don't have to do anything in return.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
And by
to me.
anything in return, I don't mean like sexual acts. I mean like they don't have to be invested into the relationship
Right.
at all. Like they can be completely aloof and not care. And the man should have to do all of that. That's such a bullshit statement.
Not on board with that.
Yeah.
Danny said birds aren't real. Bro, I'm not real.
Silent said, I feel like we live in a simulation being controlled. I don't know if it's a simulation. I do believe we live in a construct.
Yes, I agree with that.
And by the definition of construct,
Simulation.
we do. Whether or not it's a simulation is still to be said, right? Like people who have done a Dimitri, and I'm using that term because of monetization.
Mm-hmm.
You can figure that the abbreviation of Dimitri to get your answer there, but that lasts for 15 minutes. And during that 15 minutes, there have been people who feel like they have lived a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing that says that there's not a base somewhere where people are sitting in machines jumping into consciousness that's an hour of their time and 30 to 100 years of ours.
Our
right.
time, right.
The planet that the Anunnaki supposedly come
Nibiru.
from, Nibiru, takes 3,600 years to orbit the sun.
And it takes us one.
So their time is going to look very different than ours.
Live much longer than we do.
Right. So it'd be nothing for them to jump into a machine and live a different existence in our consciousness if that was a thing. I do believe that we're living in a construct. I don't believe that, and you can speak to God making a construct.
I think it's a spiritual construct.
It would have to be divinely made because everything, even in terms of the Big Bang, to make this work, if the Big Bang was off by 10 degrees, this would have never happened.
Minuscule.
Right. It could have been, I mean, you know how easy it is to kill a plant?
Oh my gosh. You know how easy it is to kill us?
Right. We are squishy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. We also saw that on Interstellar. They made it to that planet. And every tick on that planet was a day going by on Earth.
Yeah.
Yep.
That movie fucked me up.
Yeah, that movie was insane. Quantum physics is also very, very strongly intertied to this whole conversation. If you are not looking into quantum physics and interdimensions and energies and all of that, you really, really should be.
Yeah. I have a lot of unhinged conspiracy theories that I believe in, but I already think that I'm crazy and I don't really care if other people think that I do, so they don't view that unhinged.
Yeah.
Like I totally believe the Mandela effect is because of the Bose-Higgins experiment from the Hertz collider.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Experience that shit all the time.
Somebody said, I have a question. The last few months, me and my fiance have been having a rough few months. And in the process, my mother-in-law blocked me and said I was blaming her for things we haven't talked about in 2 months. Pause there. That means that your husband is talking to, or your fiance is talking to his mom about your relationship and making you the villain.
Yeah, hang on. Is he a mama's boy? I need to know that. Continue.
Okay. And I want to talk to her face to face. I just don't know what to say. I want to heal, period. Backtrack. My mom kicked me out at 17 and she took me in. Now I'm 24 and we have our own place and I have 2 kids with her son. I want to heal and make it work. What do I do? I know I didn't say anything, but how can I get her to believe me and work on our relationship again? Why are you so desperate to make that relationship work? That's the question.
Yeah.
You are trying to pour into somebody who has holes in their cup. Let her have holes in her cup.
Sounds like your fiance is poking holes in that cup.
I would believe that.
My goodness.
I would believe that. My mom stole my business and I have to step away from her and not talking to her. Should I be working things out with her because she's my mom? It's hard to forgive her. No, you should hire a lawyer and get your fucking business back.
Absolutely not. I would not be working things out with my mom. My mom undermined me, stole my business, manipulated me, underhanded me, and threw me under the bus That's not a mother.
No.
Your mother would not do that to you. Forgiveness is not for her. Forgiveness is for you to let go of that anger and hatred.
Yeah, you guys hold on to too much, man.
Letting her back into your life is forgiving her for her.
Any of you guys who have this,
Not doing that.
What should I do with my mom? Remove the mom. Remove the mom. If this was anyone else in your life and they did this to you, how would you respond to it?
Right.
Just because somebody gave birth to you doesn't give them the right to treat you like a fucking doormat.
Just because they gave birth, period, doesn't make them a good person.
Right. Right. Caitlin said, I recently walked away from organized religion. I'm trying to get better at understanding of the spiritual and energetic aspects of God and the universe. I'd love an episode about your beliefs.
Oh gosh, it's not going to be an episode. This is going to be a multi-part series.
Yeah, we can't do that, unfortunately, because we are followers of Christ, right?
We're religious zealots.
Right? But we have our faith. The problem is people who are Christians they hear that we're followers of Christ and they think that we're like them.
We are the same.
And they follow us and think that they have allies in this whole thing, and they don't realize how much that I hate religion.
Right.
So like when we start talking about that, people stop following us because we're not them.
Oh,
like,
no.
We're not Christians.
No, we are not Christians. We are not Catholics. We are very against all of that. And then they feel lied to.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've never claimed to be Christians. We've said ever since the beginning that we are followers of Christ. There is a difference. We absolutely probably could do content like that. I think that it would hurt us more than it would help us. But
I disagree.
Yeah,
I disagree. I feel like all the woo woo girlies will come out and
yeah,
and then by proxy their boyfriends will follow suit. Husbands.
I do know that every time we've had conversations about all this shit at retreats and things like that, everyone agrees. Like everybody's invested. So maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe I'm worried.
I think you're worried about the bias of it.
Yeah.
You've had experience with real negative shit in regards to that. And this is our livelihood. So if the backlash becomes surmountable, it's a real threat.
Yeah.
So I get that worry there.
Somebody asked if we do guests. We do, but it's not like we don't do just random people guests. We want to have guests on the show that we want to talk to. You would be surprised at least once a day somebody asks us to come on the podcast. I don't want to just have anybody on the podcast. I want to pick and choose. I want to cherry pick the people that I want to talk to. So that's the thing. Religion feels like a cult. When you look at
it is.
I made a post yesterday on Facebook that Christianity and witchcraft is the same thing.
Yeah, just rebranded.
Well, it is. You have
shiny hat on it.
blood rituals. If in the crucifixion of Christ, that is a blood ritual covenant between a spiritual being. Tell me that that's not witchcraft.
If you believe that Jesus Christ was the final human, final flesh sacrifice, blood sacrifice, that's paganism.
It is. It is. That's exactly why it's portrayed that way. When you read the Old Testament talks about getting rid of animal rituals. Mm-hmm. Don't eat meat from ritual thing. Like there's a whole lot of things that come into that. And like you can even get even more specific than that. The Bible says do not kill. And depending on the word, it could be do not kill or do not murder. But either way, like if it does translate to do not kill, you shouldn't be killing animals to eat the food.
Right.
Like there's a whole lot that goes into all of that shit. I think that we are the Christ. Mm-hmm. The definition of Christ means awakened.
Yes.
Like we are that. And when they talk about the Christ's return, does that mean that Jesus is physically coming back? Or does that mean that we are going to evolve and awaken and be Christ-like? Because Yeshua said, you are going to do greater things than I.
Yes, he did.
You are capable of more than I have done here. So when we awaken and we become Christ-like,
oh, but something that's blasphemy.
it is blasphemy.
Because you think you're greater than the Lord himself?
Yeah. Yeah.
But isn't that what he said?
It is.
So now what are we doing?
Depends on what you're reading.
Right. And then here are the puppet strings.
Yeah.
There's the manipulation.
Yeah. Going down that rabbit hole of the differences and the discrepancies from the Gospels that Paul wrote to the things that Jesus said and done. I also am curious who wrote about the 40 days of Jesus being alone in the desert? Because he didn't write anything down.
Right.
All of these are secondhand accounts from Jesus. Where'd that come
I'm
from?
gonna be honest. The only bro I really trust is Matthew. That bro had his pen and paper out the whole time.
Right. Well, that he did in like The Chosen.
Yeah.
Right.
The depiction of what we got
Right.
through secondhand.
Right. In a TV show. Right. And I fuck with it because he looks like he's autistic.
Right.
I relate
love
to
it.
him.
I feel so seen. Like, there were times where he's hunched over the table and everyone's arguing. I'm like, bro, I get
And
it. Like,
he's
turn
stimming.
the volume down.
You can see him stimming.
He's
I'm like, bro, I
playing
get
with
it.
beads or something. Like, we need regulation.
That's funny. You guys should look into the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, the Gospel of Thomas, the Book of Enoch, the first one, because there's two of them. One of them is a fake. There's a whole lot that goes into all that. I actually consider myself a Gnostic.
I agree with that too.
I don't have like a thing that I follow completely that I can identify or align with. But if I had to pick everything of what I know, I'm going to say that I'm a Gnostic or a mystical Christian.
I agree with the mystical Christian too. Yeah.
Yeah. We got a super chat from Therapy. Shout out to my buddy over there. He said,
Therapy. Hello. He's one of my favorite people.
family is not an obligation. Cut out toxic people.
And he's a therapist.
He's working on it.
He's working on it. Yes.
Yeah, he's working on it.
I got a little bit too excited and gave him the title, but he's doing the damn thing.
Christina K said, I've been looking for the Book of Mary Magdalene for just a short while. Where can I find that? You can find books about it on Amazon. You can find it on Audible. There's
YouTube.
people that break it down on YouTube. My mother-in-law wants my boyfriend to get baptized. We aren't religious, and he said I should too, since his mom wants him to get baptized. His mom is also baptized. So, I mean, this is one of those things that, like, is it going to hurt you to do it?
Right. If you don't believe in anything after this, you getting water on your forehead or getting dipped in a bath is going to literally do nothing to you, but it's going to do a lot for him.
You want to get into the baptism conversation?
Pagan.
Yeah.
Go.
Okay, so the baptism by itself is not a rebirth of Christ. I know that's why Baptists use it. You're washing away your sins. You're accepting Christ. You're coming back born again. When Jesus got baptized, that's not what it was.
No.
Yeshua did not need to be baptized, and he insisted. And when John the Baptist did the baptism, the thing that was after that was that Yeshua was going to baptize you in the Spirit and fire. The water baptism and that whole process is from the Essenes. It is a ritual, a water ritual, speaking to water angels to help control the elements. You guys want to look into what baptism really looks like and like the reason for it? Look into baptisms and the Essene. Mm-hmm. I went down a whole fucking rabbit hole about that. And now that I look at it that way, you are using the spirit of water to cleanse yourself.
To cleanse you, yeah.
I do it every day in the shower.
Yep.
A baptism would be no different.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And then that leans into Kundalini awakening and the fire energy there, which you touched on.
Oh, good call. Because I totally forgot about the Kundalini thing. You're
Yeah.
right. And that speaks to the Jesus energy.
It does.
Yeshua.
Yep, Yeshua. We also are the one thing that makes us different from animals within our chakras is our heart chakra.
Yep, the green one.
The green one, which is what Jesus and Mary Magdalene both had, which made them the elevated level of spirituality.
Right. Buddha had it too.
Buddha, right. So like it's feasible. A lot of people get stuck on their root chakra.
Yeah.
And they don't progress past that because awakening your chakras is painful.
Yeah, Kundalini awakening is very painful.
Yes. And I don't mean painful and like you're getting stung by a bee painful. I mean painful emotionally, spiritually. It's going to be a low time, depression, whatever the case may be. It's a lot. And to process and get through that, the awakening is the fresh of breath air. It's like once you get through the fire and the brimstone of healing that, you're walking in a meadow.
Yeah. Well, that Kundalini awakening, when you actually unlock that, your body seizes.
Oh yeah, no, I was talking about chakras.
Oh, okay.
No, the Kundalini is a whole separate
That's why I
beast.
was like, that's actually painful because you
Yeah.
see people sitting in that pose and they look like they're crazy arched backwards. Yeah. It's from that opening and
it takes over the spine.
Right. You guys, we can get into a whole lot of crazy shit. If you guys want to talk
really
about
good.
like the fact that Yeshua was crucified at 33 years old and we have 33 vertebrae in our spine and that the chakras and the way that our spine works makes up the tree of life.
Yeah.
You get into all that craziness.
It's a whole thing.
We
hang
got super
on.
chats, so go ahead. I'll read them after you're done.
There was something.
I can see people unfollowing.
Well, we've actually gone up in viewers.
We got a whole bunch of super chats since
So-
doing this too. So
It's gone. You touched on something and I wanted to touch on it and it's gone because you continued with the.
we should do her chakra reading when we're done
Okay.
with your bio well. Super chats. GT Daybook said, "Thank you guys for talking about your faith. Made me feel seen and release guilt that I wasn't following what I was taught, but what feels natural in my walk."
Ooh.
Okay.
Once you get that stride.
Right. Okay. We are supposed to have a relationship with our creator, right? The whole point of Yeshua being here was that we no longer had to go to the church. We now have a direct connection to the divine, right?
It's us.
Catholicism fucked that up and created fathers. And it says in the Bible not to call other people fathers. And yet that's what
Right.
Catholics call the priests.
Right. Also, we're going to Jesus got pissed off at the Pharisees, but we're going to recreate the same thing with Catholicism.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. We are supposed to read the book, interpret the readings, because it's not set in stone. There's a whole lot of metaphors and like, it's just not like clear, concise, written things. Like there are a lot of metaphors in the Bible, parables.
Yes.
I am supposed to read this with my level of comprehension and then follow it. If I have to go to church where somebody else is reading the Bible and I have to follow their interpretation, I'm not following the Bible. I'm following that motherfucker's opinion of shit.
Through their own cognitive bias, lived experiences, limited understanding, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Two things I remembered. First, there was a period of time in Yeshua's life between the age of 12 and what was it, 32, 30?
30, because he was only with his disciples for 3 years.
Where he disappeared. And it is coming to light that he was in Egypt. He was learning about the emerald tablets. He was learning about hermetic principles. He was learning about Reiki and moving energy. He was learning the chakras.
The Essenes.
The Essenes, right? Didn't he also go to India?
Okay, so that's going to create a whole different conversation.
Okay.
We know he was in Egypt because it says in the Bible that that's where they escaped
Right.
to. There is a temple in India that claims to have Yeshua's body.
Yeah.
They called him Isa. And they said that he was somebody who was crucified that survived. We know that Yeshua was only on the cross for 3 or 4 hours. They gave him some drink. He went unconscious. We believe he died. They took him down. They were able to get his body, get it cleaned, and then 3 days later he resurrected. They could have brought him back, nursed him enough that he was able to heal, and then got him the fuck out of there.
Right.
Because
they believed he was dead.
they were trying to kill him.
Yeah.
That's a whole ass different conversation.
Right.
But there is a belief. There's 2 different temples in India where Isha was traveled to with his wife
and children.
and children. Right, there was a whole lot of conversation that goes into that. But we do believe, I believe that he has been everywhere from Egypt to India.
I agree. So that's a whole thing. That's what I wanted to touch on. That's what came back to me. Second thing is your aura is really fucking loud right now. I'm enjoying this.
Mine is. I enjoy
Yeah.
this conversation.
I can tell.
Yeah.
I can see you.
Thank you. Gremlin Girl said, "Thank you for everything you do. It's been a while. We're glad you're still with us. I hope your health
Yeah.
is well." Unrelated Therapy said, "The topic of baptism makes most people wet."
I think that's the first time I've heard therapy talk dirty.
That's pretty funny though.
That is really funny. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I just walked in on my dad saying something I shouldn't hear him saying.
That's funny.
He makes all those dad jokes, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christy sent a super chat, but there's no text.
Momo said, tell us more.
Hear me out, D&D, but it's biblical.
I would fuck that up.
That's funny. Scrolling to the bottom. Okay. Tibet also has oral traditions of Yeshua visiting. They actually have documents. There are photos from that temple of the documents that were written by Yeshua while he was there, and they say that he became a yogi master, which makes sense.
It does.
Certain, if you guys are familiar with the Emerald Tablets and Thoth, who is also Hermes, they believe that Yeshua, the Buddha, Muhammad, Hermes, all of them are reincarnations of Thoth because they are elevated consciously. There's also a whole lot of things around the Emerald Tablets and around that learning thing that says that when you unlock your heart chakra and release Kundalini energy, you will be able to love like Jesus did. You are on a different level than he is. So I don't know. Zach said most people don't understand the depth of a topic like baptism. They start looking into it, but they get underwater quickly. But
oh wow, that was funny. It took me a second. I was like, no, I get it. There's so much information; it can be overwhelming.
I love jokes like that.
Yeah, it took me a minute.
Christy said, "Pagan here, and this topic is right up my alley." We can have conversations about what paganism is and why Christianity took so many pagan holidays, holy days, and made that a thing. I mean, I enjoy
rabbit holes
conversations like this.
Yep.
Even if it's not real, it's fun to talk about,
it
right?
Is,
like,
yeah.
Bailey said, I heard that Odin is a Thoth consciousness also. I mean, it would make sense that all of the gods throughout time would have some sort of connection to
that,
Thoth because they believe he was the original awakened one. But getting into the Hermetic principles changes things a lot too. We are currently in talks of, we're going to meet with an owner of a church in Kentucky in November. And when we go meet with them, we are going to be talking about creating our own branch here in Florida. And when we do,
I love that.
They do everything off the Tao Te Ching. So they have actual, like, every Sunday services online and things of that nature. And that would be things that we would have to keep up with. So it would be one more thing on our plate. But
this is something I'm willing to dedicate myself to.
Same. But I would want to include a lot of the Hermetic principles in all of that. And that's something that they would have to agree with.
I agree with that. Yeah. I am working on, I want to create, you can call them personalized journals or grimoires or book of shadows, whatever the hell you want it to label it as. I am trying to create physical knowledge that we can take on retreats, and the Hermetic Principles is going to be one of those books that I feel.
Well, you can just make a card and print a card for the Hermetic Principles. There's only 7 of them. You just got to explain them. And well, if you create a book for you and then give them a printout with like a magnet on the back to stick to their fridge, once you've explained the Hermetic Principles and you guys have had that conversation, it's just a physical reminder.
Right.
To make it a whole lot easier on you.
Yeah. I want to be able to bring the book to retreats because people ask me questions. I don't retain information in my brain.
Yeah.
I'm somebody who needs written literature, notebooks, pads, the notepad on my phone. My brain is moving way too fast. It's not a quiet stream in there. It's a roaring river.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a religion called Aminism where you believe that most religions are interconnected and retellings of the same stories. I've actually heard about that. And I believe that that's actually a thing. The reality is if you look at the Sumerian tablets, which have been translated and then retranslated, and now we're getting new translations because the guy that originally did it fucked up a lot.
He really did.
There's a whole lot of things that we know are true, like the flood story that happened 14,000 years ago. That definitely happened because it's in every religion on the planet.
It's also not the only one.
Right. It's not the only flood story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to shit on that guy who first started decoding.
Zachariah Zitchin is his name.
I don't want to shit on him too much because he is the reason we are able to get to this point to decoding the Sumerian text.
Yeah.
So even though he messed it up massively, he was the person to start the avalanche of us getting to this point.
Well, you know, with where we're at now with quantum computing, we watched something last night. We talked about this about eight or 9 months ago on the podcast. We are at a point now with quantum computing where computers have gotten so fast that they were able to decode something that would have taken previous computers longer than the Earth has existed to compute, to break the cipher. They were able to do it in like 15 minutes. Long enough for somebody to leave his office, go get a cup of coffee, and come back.
And it's done.
Right. And when he came back, it was too late. It was already on the servers. Like, it had become a thing. There was a whole lot of shit that happened beyond that.
If Dude's never taking a coffee break again.
I mean, if I was him, I'd probably find a different job at that point because like there was so much shit that was unlocked in that moment that like, but with the ability to quantum compute things, we would be able to decipher every codex that has ever existed at this point.
Yeah.
And it would happen super fucking quick now.
I'm pretty stoked to be alive. Like,
yeah.
History is dope to experience and all those kinds of things, but I love being alive in 2025 and experiencing history the way we're able to experience it because of technology. With the quantum computing, I heard that they are now having to produce material for us to build to further the quantum computing because we can't fathom it ourselves.
They talked about that in Life 3.0.
Yeah.
I've talked about that for years. That book scared me. Not like, oh my God, it's a horror book.
Right.
But reading that AI is to the point where they have to create hardened rooms where you're not allowed to go in anything other than a suit.
Mm-hmm.
Not like a business suit, but like a plastic suit. No technology is allowed to get brought in there. It's hardened. They have copper going into the ground. Like there's no signal in there. And that's where they have to operate certain aspects of AI, because in the event that it hit the internet, it's game over.
Oh, yeah.
And that's becoming a thing. And when that happens, AI is going to be so far advanced that it's going to be creating new elements, which is now done.
Mm-hmm.
They created an element that looks like it's as light as foam, but it's harder than steel.
I heard about that.
They are now to the point, like you said, and it talks about this in the book, that they are going to get so far ahead of us that they are going to have to create manuals for us to make the tools to then be able to do the job based off the things that it is teaching us to do.
We are going to become servants.
I believe we are.
Yeah. It's really scary to think about. And when you think about the expansion, if AI got out the way that it would in a detrimental sense,
it would take over the world in less than a week.
Planes, transportation, all of our cars have computer chips in them now. Like
everything does. Yeah.
Yeah.
The book was called Life 3.0. That whole thing, that book came out years ago. I think I read that like 6 or 7 years ago. That book fucked me up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It says in the book that once it hit the internet, it would be trying to find ways to get resources. And the easiest way to get resources would be the stock market. And if it learned how to trade, it could crash the stock market and make billions of dollars in a week.
Yeah.
Once it did that, it would be the largest controlling of everything because it's stocks. Like, it's just wild. Absolutely wild.
It is insane.
Yeah.
I don't like the way this topic makes my spine feel. That's your kundalini rejecting it.
That's your soul making your butthole pucker because you realize what's coming. That's funny.
Yeah.
Damn, we just lost a bunch of fucking viewers. It just dropped from 3 something to 245.
That's funny. Peaches, do you ever / have you ever traveled to Canada for retreats for women? We have not. And that is something that is so far into the future, I cannot give you an answer on.
Yeah. You guys have to realize that for us to travel to do a retreat, we have to find an Airbnb in wherever it is that you're trying to get us to go. We have to be able to sell spots at that Airbnb for the retreat. Our plane tickets, the food costs, the rental car costs, and all of the shit that goes into that makes the cost of the experience go way the fuck up, especially if we're doing small retreats. If you guys are trying to do retreats, it's much more cost effective for you to come to Florida.
Yes.
We're able to keep our retreats at like $500 or $600 a bunk to $1,000 to $1,200 for a room, unless we're doing couples retreats.
Yeah.
Those are $2,000 a room.
Yeah, we did the math. For example, if we went to California, it would be $3,000 or $4,000 for one person to get a bedroom, and that's not
per bedroom.
Right. It is more cost effective all around to have you guys travel to us.
Yep. I am very patient for the travel aspect of To Be Better. I'm not going anywhere. You are always coming to my country. Well, where's your country?
Welcome. You're always welcome.
Oh, welcome.
England.
Yep, I remember now. You want to read that long one? I'm in an involuntary long distance marriage. We were married in July of last year. He was arrested for things in his past in August. 1 month later, he's out of state in work release halfway house program. I'm 5 months into recovery and still struggling with that. I have been feeling alone and like I don't have a real marriage because of this situation. We don't need to move any further. You said in your vows, till death do us part.
Right.
For better or worse, in sickness and health. This is one of those hard times.
Yeah.
I hate to be the one to say suck it up, but suck it up.
Yeah.
You
are married.
Yeah.
This is just one of those circumstances that isn't ideal. And even though you're not getting what you want out of the situation,
it's temporary.
It's temporary.
Yep.
Yeah.
It feels like he's got a support system for his recovery, albeit forced initially, and I have none. I'm experienced jealousy in regards to that.
I want to pause there.
Okay.
There are so many resources out there for you that you are creating your own jealousy. There are so many resources out there. You get on the internet, you can make phone calls, you can look around in your local area to see if there are any meetings that you can attend to. There's Facebook groups for recovery. Fuck, I don't know. I'm mind boggled because there's so many options out there. I don't understand how you don't have anything.
Yeah.
And then get mad at him because he has something.
She said, it feels like he cares more about helping people there than he does about my recovery. So this is proximity.
Yes.
You're not near him. He's in a halfway house. It's not like he can just be like, all right, guys, I'm going to go home to my woman.
Mm-hmm.
He's forced to be there. He's in a work release program.
And he can't be glued to his phone to make you feel better all hours of the day. He needs to focus on his own recovery and getting his shit together.
Right. This is a big codependency thing.
Yeah.
She said, I'm super proud of him for the work he's doing on himself and for helping others. I just feel left behind / left out. Do you have any advice on how I can get out of this self-pity mindset? Well, you are making yourself a victim in this.
I agree. You need to do things for yourself. Nobody's going to come and pick your hand up and lift you out of this hole.
Right. No one's coming to save you.
Right. So to get out of this feeling of being left behind or feeling left out, what are you doing to make yourself feel like you're doing something?
She said, I have serious attachment issues, relationship baggage. Previous husband unalived himself in front of me in 2023, and I'm wondering why I keep ending up alone. I've tried expressing how I feel, but it seems like there's no real understanding of my feelings. Your ex-husband, your previous marriage has nothing to do with your current one, and you're not alone. Your man is currently incarcerated.
You're married, yeah.
You are married. You're not alone. You're just not together right now. Mm-hmm. This is a matter of perspective. If he left you intentionally, it would be a very different conversation.
I wonder why I keep ending up alone. You're gonna keep ending up alone until you get comfortable with being alone. You need to learn a lesson in this, and this lesson is you're gonna be by yourself. Like, yes, I fall asleep next to my husband every single night, but when I'm laying there with my eyes closed and I'm rolled onto my side and he's holding onto my hips, all I have is up here.
Yeah.
I'm talking to myself, putting myself to sleep. You need to find comfort in yourself. You need to find strength within yourself. You need to get self-confidence from the well within you, not from other people. And you need to be more active in seeking community. It's not going to just come to you. It didn't just come to him. This man was forced. He was arrested. Right. He was forced into this. And I would not be jealous of that. You're jealous of the circumstances maybe. But you could have all of that in such a nicer, calmer way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a very real saying that we say all the time on the podcast. What you're not changing, you're choosing.
Yes.
So, Christy for $1.99 said, sober here and AA has worldwide meetings and help.
Yep.
Fun thing for you to research later. Look into the founder of AA and his push for lysergic. Well, I'm going to just say LSD. Fuck it.
Okay.
He had a very big push in the US and in Canada to implement uses of LSD into the AA program because he did a single dose and it cured him of his addiction. Mm-hmm. And that's the founder of AA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mackenzie said, thoughts on Wi-Fi and wireless headphones. Are you asking for brands that we use, or do you want to talk about what it does to your brain and your pineal gland?
Right. Because I'm telling you, I feel a difference when I'm inside the house and when I'm 10 miles away in the woods. But also, I fall asleep with an eye mask that has Bluetooth wireless so I can listen to rain sounds.
Right.
So.
Did you know that, fluoride actually creates issues with your pineal glands? It puts like a plaque or something on it.
Really?
And within the last week, there was a study that came out that said that fluoride is a neurotoxin and that it's actually damaging our brain being in our water and our toothpaste. Yeah.
All right. Well, buying toothpaste for everybody in the household now.
I switched already. I don't use fluoride in my toothpaste.
Yeah.
And our well doesn't have fluoride in it because we're on a well. We have a fucking double osmosis system. We have clean water here. Good. We have, if our pH balance is where it's supposed to be, we have the best water on the planet.
Good.
So. I'm definitely looking to find out what they wanted about the headphones. Gracie, I would love to have an answer to your question, but that would get us demonetized. We can't really talk about that kind of stuff on YouTube. Both. Second option. So we know, I actually have two different hats that have a mesh lining in the inside that is supposed to not eliminate, but reduce the amount of shit that goes into your head based off of Wi-Fi and 5G and Bluetooth and all of that shit. Wearing wireless headphones, you're putting that shit directly on your head. There's a whole lot of studies done that actually affects your pineal gland. It affects other chemicals in your brain. And this is actually something that's not new. Like they've known about this for a long time, and people call people crazy over it. But there is a very big market now for people who are grounding, earthing, whatever you want to call it, because those are not the same thing.
No, they're not.
I have read stories where people have installed a breaker on the outside of their bedroom so that they can flip a breaker and turn off everything electronic inside of their bedroom.
I love that.
There's no way you'd be able to handle that. You can't sleep without a fan on. That would kill the fan.
Oh, you're right. I do need the fan.
Yeah. We have grounding sheets on our bed.
We do.
But I have a hat that is a mesh beanie that has that in there. And then I have a physical hat. And when we're traveling, I wear those because I'm wearing my headphones a lot. And then when I'm home and we're gaming, I use wireless headphones. So I guess maybe I'm still fucking myself up, but I truly believe that affects your pineal gland.
Yeah.
And we also know that the pineal gland is where Yeshua, the Christ, comes from within us. And in spiritual cultures, they believe that the pineal gland is where we have our connection to the divine. And when our pineal gland is not operating optimally because of the Wi-Fi and 5G and the Bluetooth and all of that shit around you, it disrupts your divinity.
It inhibits.
Inhibits your connection to the divine. Yeah.
I've thought about this twice over the last 3 days, and I keep forgetting to tell you. So I need to tell you why we're sitting here. Our daughter asked us for a bigger bed.
Yeah, we'll get it. Not a big deal. Building off your statement about Lucy and the founder of AA, do you guys know anybody who has done ibogaine treatment? I don't know what that prediction is.
I don't know.
I realize it's still in the testing phase in Texas, but I'm seriously considering. Ibogaine is a very intense plant medicine. It's one of the longest lasting, and it is one of the hardest hitting. It's right up there with Aya. Ibogaine, the plant that ibogaine comes from, is a endangered species right now because it's been harvested so much, and it's very hard to grow and only grows in certain areas. It has been synthesized, and because it's been synthesized, you can now take a synthetic ibogaine. I know that there has been a lot of really good results from that. Speaking from my personal experience, I have not done ibogaine, but every ceremony plant medicine that I have ever done has given me phenomenal results.
Yeah.
We're huge proponents of that shit. So my husband wears his wireless headphones nonstop, and I've noticed a change in his sleep and energy levels. I'm wondering if it's his constant usage affecting him. I would put money that it does. To what degree, I have no idea.
Yeah. I bet it's more likely to be stress or something fucking up his sleep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could be. That disruption, when your brainwaves get disrupted, it affects a lot. Wait until the 30th.
I have it in my calendar.
Yeah, I do too. We're about to have a very weird fucking day, and I don't know what's going to happen beyond that day. But our brain's the Earth's natural heartbeat is around 7 hertz, a little over 7 hertz, like 7 point something. And when we are in a meditative, calm state, our frequency aligns with the Earth's heartbeat frequency. When this AI Atlas or A1 Atlas or whatever it's called passes between the moon and Earth and gets close to the sun, it's going to 10x. So people who are operating at like a 7 frequency is going to be operating at a 70 frequency. I'm willing to bet there's going to be a whole lot of psychosis happening. You think that a full moon ER stay is weird? Wait until the 30th. October 30th of this year is going to be fucking wild for a lot of people.
Yeah.
We may not see it across the board for everyone. There will be people out there who have no idea what's happening, but there are going to be a whole lot of people that are not okay that day.
Yeah.
Yep. For those of you who work in medical, I do not fucking envy you at all.
Yeah, I would be praying.
Yeah, I'd be calling off work.
Yeah.
Oh, man. There's a podcast on it. Don't want to promote another person, but they have a discussion on it curing his alcoholism. There's a lot of podcasts that talk about that shit. Miss Murder said the Schumann resonance. That's what that's called. Will the comet affect the UK? It's going to affect the entire planet. Chaos will happen. I agree. What that chaos looks like is still to be seen, obviously, but I think it's going to affect a lot of people.
Yep.
Lauren Wells said, wait, what's happening? There is currently an unknown object, inner space object. It came from outside of our solar system. It's called A1 Atlas. It is flying at a fucking crazy speed, emitting light, and it does not have a comet tail like normal comets.
Yep.
There's a whole lot of belief that this is a alien spacecraft. Conspiracy theorists.
Right.
And, you know, conveniently, there's a government shutdown right now that's going to probably stay shut down until around Christmas time is what they're saying. So NASA's not working. So we have no idea what this thing even looks like or what's going to happen, but it's going to come very close to the Earth. It's going to pass between the moon and Earth.
Yeah, I'd if I were working for NASA, I'd be breaking in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are going to document this.
And it's going to get very close, three eye atlas. It's going to get very close to the sun. And when it does, the sun is going to have, we're expecting record solar mass ejections, SMEs. And in doing so, that's going to create a whole lot of problems with our tech. When we have big solar flares, it affects people's mental. And with all of this happening at the same time, it's going to fuck with the frequencies of the planet. When you look at the last flood event happened because something passed between the Earth and the moon, and it got very close to Earth.
Yes, too close to Earth.
Yeah.
And it messed up everything. Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot.
I'm ready. The kids are going to be at their dad's house that day. I'm gonna go on a little spiritual journey.
Yep. Bye, Felicia said, tech for me has already been wonky, slow, and freezing all.
That's the same thing for me too.
That's because Amazon is one of the largest servers on the planet. That's where they make their money. People think that Amazon's making a ton of money by selling shit. They do. They make $1 off of everything that they sell. But if you're selling millions of products, it's millions of dollars. Their real money is in servers.
Wow.
So like Signal and Snapchat and all the things that went down yesterday are all hosted by Amazon because Amazon servers had an issue. So that's where all of the issues are coming right now.
Somebody asked, wondering if I can open up my chakras from home as a stay-at-home mom.
Absolutely.
People do this sitting in the middle of the jungle.
Yep.
There is no limits on you unlocking yourself. Highly recommend doing a lot of research. Don't just go into Google and type in what are chakras. Like really look into the history of it, understand like the Sanskrit and why it was derived that way, and look into religious affiliations of chakras and like really dig in. I'm so tired of the surface level shit, guys.
Yeah.
Please, please, please do a lot of research.
Cheyenne said, so what should we do for that day? Nobody knows, right? Like I can tell you all kinds of cool shit to do, but I'm speculating.
Right.
We've never, and the intelligent age, information age, that's the word I was looking for. The information age, we've never had something like this happen that we're aware of.
Right.
We do know that we had something pass between the Earth and the moon in like 2010 or 15, somewhere in that ballpark, but it didn't do
but it was
2012.
2012.
It didn't do a whole lot to us. They're saying that this is going to affect our frequencies as people. And when this happens, if we lose data, for those of you who don't cook, you're not going to be able to DoorDash. Our cell phones and communication is likely to go down. How long it goes down, who knows? It could be a 5-second thing. It could be an entire day. They will be working quickly to get things picked back up, obviously, because this is an infrastructure that is worth trillions of dollars. And if it goes down, obviously that affects people's bottom dollar. But this is absolutely a whole lot of shit. And they say that the peak time is going to be 6:34 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on October 30th.
Yeah, I'm going to be up at 5 a.m. that day.
Yeah. I'm going to try to sleep through it. I probably won't.
We'll see if you do.
Yeah.
Crazy if you woke up the moment it's passing over us.
Right.
Could you imagine?
Yeah. Yep.
You going to be here the 30th? Oh, all right. You want to be up with me at 5 a.m.? Try to see this thing floating through space, feel some energy. Absolutely. Do some meditating in the yard. Enough.
My RA that's been in check all year has been ramping up, and my husband thinks the solar storms is already affecting the frequency / pressure of the Earth. I agree with that.
I agree with that too. Yeah.
Because my back's been hurting a whole lot more.
Yeah. I have been feeling, I don't know how to explain it. I can tell when storms are coming. I can tell when the pressure's dropping in the atmosphere or whatever the case may be.
pressure.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
So yeah, I've been. It's at the base of my skull, kind of where Hape hits you.
Oh, fuck that. I'm good on that shit.
Yeah.
There's a very real possibility too. Again, this is all speculation. This could go by and we may not even notice.
Yeah.
But people who are a lot fucking smarter than I am that do this for a living are saying to expect massive changes in frequency and our electronics. That there will be shifts in perception. I mean, there are speculations that people will have more connection, like you do when you're in the medicine, because the consciousness will be
I love
so
that.
high and evolved. All I can think of is that movie Powder, where he's pure energy and becomes consciousness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Hey, enough of that. I don't know what you're burping over there. Ooh, was that Carrie? If so, hi, Carrie. It was not. It was Taylor.
Yes.
For those of you who have traveled with us to any of our international destinations, you know who she is. She makes our mala beads and she's a friend. She is here staying with us because she's going to a ceremony this weekend in Florida.
Little travel bug.
And then coming back, and she'll be doing an episode with Peaches. So you guys will get to meet Taylor. Crazy that we are making friends and collecting our tribe.
Yeah. Met some random chick in Thailand. Now she's staying with us.
He's fucking at her house.
Yeah.
It's wild. Life's a trip.
Ivy, down, babies.
You want to wrap up? I'm hungry.
We can.
Okay. Guys, thanks for tuning in. If you guys are not subscribed on YouTube, if you're on Facebook and you're not subscribed to YouTube, please go over to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. And everybody, we will see you when we record again.
Bye, guys.
Later.
Enough.